Outliers Coffee Roasters is 'n familiebesigheid waarin elke lid van die span 'n rol speel. Vanaf die verkryging van groen koffiebone tot by die rooster van die bone, selfs die ontwerp van die etikette is daar 'n toegewyde spesialis. Maar dis 'n koffiebesigheid met 'n verskil. To talk about coffee for a cause, I'm joined by John Kinghorn from Outliers Coffee. Welcome to Besigheid Wat Saak Maak, John.
Good morning, Roseanne. Nice to be here.
Coffee is all about blends, and Outliers Coffee Roasters essentially blends two very different things, great tasting coffee and a passion for conservation. Can you tell us more about this?
Conservation is a passion of ours and has been for as long as I can remember, and coffee has been the other passion. And when we started the business, I realized that we could actually do both together. And we felt that by providing good coffee, we could also assist conservation. And by blending the two together, we realized we had a winning blend.
So tell us more about the causes that are supported. How do you choose which NPO'S to involve in your brand?
So for us, the first and foremost criteria was credibility.
Yeah.
And we therefore looked for partners, NPO partners that were legitimate and who were doing good work. And we therefore approached the ones that we targeted for now, and we came up with the Endangered Wildlife Trust, BirdLife South Africa, Volpro, the Nature's Valley Trust, Adorable Bull Terrier Rescue and Rehabilitation, that's the domestic animal,
yeah.
And then last but not least, we came up with the Leopard Conservation Project. And currently those are the six. We've partnered with a seventh one as well, yet to be announced. Very exciting. And you'll be hearing more about that one.
So none of this would really work without great tasting coffee.
Correct.
So you can do all of the conservation you want. If the coffee doesn't taste great, then it's not going to work. So tell me a little bit about your product range.
Okay, so the blends are all different, and we source our beans, our green beans that we roast. We source them from the best of the best, if I may say that, and therefore we use 100% Arabica beans, and they're sourced from all over the world. What we've done is we've created blends of our own. So what you see in these packets is unique to Outliers. And they're a mix. We've actually, what we did with each of the NPO'S is we did a coffee tasting, and we presented them with 3 coffees that we thought would work. Mm-hmm. And each one of them went through it, had to attend a tasting panel, and they evaluated the coffees, and they said to us, we like A more than B, we don't like C.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And in fact, with one of the NPO'S, we actually went back a second time because they were very specific about what they wanted. And we managed to get it right. So, yeah, they're all different, and they're all really good coffees.
I mentioned earlier in the introduction that everyone in your family has taken their strength and pitched into Outliers Coffee Roasters where they can. So from the sourcing of the beans to the design of the labels, and the labels are actually quite interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about them?
Yes. So the labels had to tell a story. And we came up with the idea that, you know, your packaging, your branding is especially important if you want to tell the story. So what we did is we came up with our logo, which is obviously Outliers Coffee Roasters, and the globe is there specifically because we're global.
Yes.
And we want our message to go out globally, and our coffee, and we want to raise funds globally. Outliers, the name Outliers, was specifically chosen because if I read a book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers, and it's the most magnificent story. And interestingly enough, it resonated with me because we do things differently. Mm-hmm. And when we conceptualized Outliers Coffee Roasters, we knew we were going to do things differently, and therefore we felt that was a really good name. So the globe, Outliers Coffee Roasters. Then we have, in this particular case, this coffee is for the Endangered Wildlife Trust. Their logo is on the back. Their story and what this particular coffee does is on the back, okay, for them. And then we have obviously an image. In this particular case, the proceeds, or certainly the proceeds of this coffee, go towards the carnivore conservation program. That's why there's a cheetah there. We've got cheetah paw prints. We've got our Land Rover that we still have in the family, very proud of it. And then importantly, there's an interaction. On each of our coffees, you'll see we have an interaction of the specific animal with the Land Rover. So if you look at the detail, you'll see that. And then, of course, there's a coffee bean on top of the eye. Okay, so this was developed in-house, and we're very proud of it. Another one of our coffees is the endangered blend with the riverine rabbit on it. And this particular coffee for the Endangered Wildlife Trust goes to support their drylands conservation program, which is based in the Northern Cape and the Karoo, as you can see in the backdrop to that image over there. But more importantly, the riverine rabbit, which they thought was extinct at one point in time, but they've since discovered it. So this one is going to support that program, which is hugely exciting. And of course, you'll see the rabbits running around the Land Rover and the little rabbit tracks, and ultimately the story on the back, but it's what's inside that really tells the story when you drink it.
John, how can our viewers get in touch? First of all, if they would like to try this delicious coffee, and for any other reason, maybe just to get involved.
Okay, they can get in touch with us via our social media platforms or our website. And how can they get involved? Well, first and foremost, they can drink our coffee because, as I said earlier, we're roasting for a cause. Yeah. And every single sip that they take, every coffee that they drink, a large portion of the proceeds of that coffee goes towards each one of these NPO'S, whichever coffee they're drinking. They can also assist by contacting us directly, and we will put them in touch with the NPO'S where they can potentially become involved in working with the NPO'S on things like mucking out vulture cages, taking bull terriers for walks, and then maybe getting involved in some of the field work with some of the bigger NPO'S where they need extra hands, because as you can understand, these NPO'S are self-funded and they rely on a lot of voluntary work. So everything helps, but it starts by drinking our coffee, and we can take the discussion.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us, John.
Thank you.